Hello and welcome back, most illustrious members of the Detail, guys, gals, and N-Pals, monarchs of all or no genders. I am your host D, also known as MtF DOOM on Marvel Snap. Today, or yesterday at this point, XJ9 came out. I'm going to keep calling her XJ9 because I want you to Google Pink Navel, the rapper, and listen to some of their music because they're fucking cool. So XJ9 came out yesterday. We're going to talk about why I did not release a Bruise Day yesterday. I'm going to make it up to you with some Bruise today and what this card actually means for the game. Although the Bruise don't include XJ9, so apologies in advance. I hope you enjoy. As always, before we get into it, a big thank you to everyone who supports. Your likes, subscriptions, and comments go a long way. Joining the Discord and the Patreon go even farther. It costs you nothing except for Patreon, which costs you $1 a month. Thank you so much, and I will thank you again at the outro. So XJ9 here is when this card is destroyed or discarded, regenerate it, and you get 1 energy next turn. That is only next turn. It doesn't ramp you forever, which is good. That's a good thing. The fact that she costs 1 means she can be killmongered. That's also, I mean, that's intentional, right? Of course it is. How could it not be? This card is fine. I had intended to not pick it up because I think that it is caustic to the game as a game piece. I don't like it. I don't like the idea that they're printing more cards that are discarded or destroyed. I brought up when MODOK came out that MODOK was a perfectly reasonable card. It's even a quite cool design on its own, right? Magic has a card called One with Nothing that people are constantly trying to break, which is a single black mana that just says, discard your hand. It's like, surely we can do something with this, and it keeps being just kind of not that good, because it's just discarding your own hand. So, MODOK as a design space is fucking cool. But it means that as they keep printing these discarded or destroyed cards, that MODOK is going to get better and better. And I mentioned that eventually there's going to be a meta where you can play MODOK and cast 5 cards for free from your hand. And they might not be that impactful. Like Wolverine as a 2/4 isn't that good. XJ9 as a 1/2 isn't that good. But you didn't have to also cast them. You just got them. You got extra value for free. You got your Morbius to grow for free. And then you can still play out 2 swarms. And there's 6 power from Wolverine and XJ9, and maybe the Muramasa Shard too, right? We're sort of hitting that critical mass. And so because of all that, I was like, I'm not really interested in this card. I'm gonna brew something to beat it. The thing is, I'll put the stats up. All these proved was that armor is good against the destroy deck. Ultimately, you're gonna see a lot of armor today, probably. And this one only had a middling win rate. It was fine, but a lot of the gameplay was literally just oh, we played armor onto against their XJ9, and then they retreated, so we got 1 cube for our trouble. The other problem with this card itself is that it does cost 1. I know it's for Killmonger reasons, but it means that if you go to counterplay it on 1, right, or they play, so okay. The line goes like this. They play this on 1. You go, okay, I even have armor. This is assuming you have armor in your opening hand or you draw it by turn 2. If you go to play that armor, there's a non-zero chance that they carnage and XJ9 moves to a different lane. And now you're just oh, cool. My tech card doesn't tech anymore because they had priority and they got out before me. So you have to also play, you have to hope you played a 1-drop. And also the fact that this is a 1/2 means it's still a coin flip for priority. This should, if a simple fix would make this a 1/1, like Nova, right? Such that the value is in destroying or discarding it and not in the stat line. Because right now, even if you play a 1-drop, well, it better goddamn be a 1-drop that beats the 1/2, and look at what we have. Oh, cool. We can't play Blade, Zero, Titania, or Ebony Maw. We just can't, because any of those are going to cause us to maybe discard our tech. Our tech is no longer useful. Titania is okay, but playing her on turn 1 is such a bad play without knowing that your opponent is going to be on XJ9, right? And obviously Ebony Moss stops us from playing armor. So even if we want to play armor, we still have to coin flip because we have to play one of these 1/2s. You know, best case scenario, we play one of these. And then it's only a coin flip for if we can even armor it. Now, I know most of the time our opponent will deploy more than just XJ9 into a lane, right? They're going to deploy the X, and then they're going to deploy Wolverine, and then they might deploy Bucky and Carnage. Maybe not. No, that doesn't quite. Anyway, the point is, very often they're going to get greedy, but it also makes it hard to snap on them, right? So normally something like this, you know, your opponent plays a Deadpool on 1, they almost never just go for the Carnage on 2. Almost always they'll go for a second card. And you can go, okay, well, you know, if you snap, they kind of read it, and now they might go for the Carnage. This has the same issue. The thing is, with Deadpool, at least you can get priority. Okay, so all this bitching out of the way. I called this one Jund. Ultimately, it had a positive win rate, but it wasn't that fun to play. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. It has some weaknesses, and ultimately, what I pointed out with the XJ9 and armor interaction came up far too often. It was like, okay, cool. I missed my window because I didn't draw armor till 3, and now they've already started getting the value out of it, and I can't play catch up with a 2/3 on, you know, them deploying 4 drops. So, as you saw, I own XJ9. I built this. This had, of all the decks I tried, this had the best win rate, and I think and cube rate. I'll put the stats up right now of any of the XJ9 decks. And this was mostly just me trying to prove a point. You have Colleen. The only 1-drop is XJ9, so Colleen pitches X, you get the +1 power. Going into 4, or going into 3, you can play your Dracula, and then you can start really like willy-nillying, just pitching cards out of your hand at your leisure. But ultimately, what else you can do is just play MODOK on 5, right? You just keep X in your hand, and then you play Dak in, and you're like holding on to a swarm, and then on 5 you play MODOK, and you get 2 free swarms, a Dak in double, and an extra energy. The only downside to all this, we don't have a way to actually take advantage of 7 energy after the MODOK. So ultimately, Colleen was a little stronger as like a ramp play, Colleen pitching X, but it didn't matter, right? Like this, you see the stats, like the deck is perfectly fine. It's a lot of fun. You know me, I love the Collector Swarm Morbius decks. Right now, not a lot of people are playing Enchantress, so Morbius is like pretty safe. They're mostly playing Shang. So this deck was fine. It's at least kind of fun. Like, it qualified for Bruise Day. But then I was like, okay, I still want to brew to beat X. What the fuck do I do? Boomer Jund. So I think it was like a sign. Oh, you know what? I fucked up. Hang on. Swap this in. Make it my favorite. Yeah. Okay. They're giving away the devil. This is the card that I used for my banner when we did the Pool 2 decks. I was the Connecticut Devils, and this was the card I used as my banner, this variant. And I think it was a sign. They're giving this away for free because of the PC launch, which is also why my Marvel Snap looks like dog shit, because I have to rechange everything. Listen, I'll get to it. Oh, also, I'm an influencer now. I'm not from the top rope. I'm an influencer. The point is, they were giving this away, and I'm like, this is a sign. This is a sign. I don't believe in signs. I think signs are cringe. But this is a sign to just play Devil Dino again. And we're playing it with the only real difference to the traditional Dino list is Shadowking. Because Shadowking hits any of their Carnages or Venoms after the fact. So if you're too slow on the armor, you just didn't get there in time, you were foolish enough to not draw armor on turn 2, you fucking idiot. We have the extra out of getting back into it later when they go to Venom their whole thing, and then they're gonna Zola their Venom or whatever. Shadowking, sit the fuck down. It's also really good against the Angela deck, the Angela move deck, which is really popular right now. Shadowking's great against that. Importantly, the only thing it hits for us is Collector and whatever we hit off Mirage. It does not reduce the power of Devil Dinosaur. Keep that in mind. Shadowking sets Devil Dino back to 3 with an ongoing of +2. which means it's the same as it was before you Shadow King. So Devil Dino is safe. This also lets us run both armor and Cosmo to protect our Devil Dinosaur. Because, again, like, obviously, we're soft to Shang, which is a really popular tech card, but both armor and Cosmo save us while interrupting our opponent's game plan. And in general, don't interrupt us that much. Like, we can play around the Cosmo for the, getting cards added to our hand for collector buffing. The only thing to note here, if you are not quite so far along, I know Iron Lad is still... Why does it not say what pool it's from? I swear, there's all this room. Oh, it's only on the fucking base card. This is so silly. Okay, so Iron Lad is still pool 5. This can absolutely be White Queen. Iron Lad can absolutely be White Queen. Other than that, I think everything else here is this pool? Yeah, pool 3, pool 3. Oh, Mirage is pool 4. Mirage can be any card that adds stuff to your hand. It could be Cable. I don't like Cable as much, but it could be Cable. Like, the whole point is that the important parts of this deck really are the tech cards and the way that they interact with our big beaters, which is positively. You also have the out of just like Coulson sometimes giving you like a 4 or 5 that wins you the game. So we're going to jump into some gameplay. Thank you so much for sticking it out. I know I missed my deadline, but here we are. I'll see you at the outro. I hope you enjoy. So we see they have Kitty Pryde. Oh, also that deck is really popular because Raft is the feature location. You know what? They might play Angela this turn, and that gives us the chance to scoop their Kitty Pryde. We got it. Mr. President, we got it. Oh, and we already have our relevant Shadow King. There's a second collector. God damn. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. Fantastic, fantastic. They got Sentinel. Sentinel's pretty good. I think, in general, them having Dino is going to be tough. But us having 2 collectors is going to be real good. And I think we can outscale their Angela using this. And then we get to Moongirl. No, we snap. Because we get to Moongirl next turn and get a copy of Kitty Pryde. I believe Kitty Pryde and our 0-cost Raft card. And buff all our collectors. Ooh, and they played the armor. Okay, so Destroyer has no downside. God damn. That's really good. That's incredibly good. So this comes back. Oh no, we won't get a copy of Kitty Pryde, will we? Does that matter? Or is there a way around it? There's no way. No, there's no way for us to get a second Kitty Pryde. So I guess we're better off just playing it. Yeah, so that we get the second Destroyer. Okay, fantastic. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. That's incredibly good. And we're ahead by 1 extra power, so we have Prio, so they can't Cosmo us, which would be their other out in this exact scenario would be to Cosmo us on Wakanda. They might Cosmo Weird World, and that would just be good too. But there's no... yeah, I don't really think there's any. I think we just win. We're going to be able to deploy, what, 38 power plus whatever, like, we can Coulson, I guess. Whatever. It's going to be good enough. They also Moongirl. Luckily, they didn't Galactus. Okay, so we go this Destroyer first. Then that Destroyer. Oh, our Kitty Pryde didn't return to hand. And then Shadow King and then Agent Coulson. Shadow King will reduce Kitty Pryde. Agent Coulson will buff our 2 collectors. We did this destroyer first so that these were all face down. This doesn't destroy face down cards, right? That would be bad. I don't think it does, though. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Is that even enough? Oh, they win center by 1. Damn. They win center by 1. You love to see it. All right, so sometimes if I have collector in hand, I won't open with Agent 13. I'll wait. But if I don't, I usually think it's right to open with Agent, though it gives away what we're doing, kind of. I value the info over the possible +1 down the line. Alright, well, we're not playing that. We're just Plum Knot. Huh. I guess we can Coulson. I value the cards in our deck over the random cards. If this added 3, we probably wouldn't do it because we don't have a good enough hand without drawing into something good. Ooh. Armor or Cosmo right now. Oh my god. I think we snap. They're very obviously trying to blow stuff up. We have Prio, and we just drew armor. We just snap. We plum do. Fantastic. Do we go center? Oh my god. Oh my god. Does that go center? Oh! It is the worst of all scenarios for our opponent. So, I guess we just have our pick at this point. I don't know. Let's Khazar. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. So, I didn't mention this in the intro. But Shadowking also gives us cheeky outs to Jotunheim some of the time. Alright, it's a goddamn destroy deck. That's what we're doing it for, right? Is to prove that we can beat the destroy deck, so this is fine, I think. Alright, I think we're okay. They might Killmonger here. But if they don't, we get to go 1... Yeah, okay, so we get to Killmonger, basically. And, like, yeah, we only have 4 in Kiln, but I think that'll be okay. Because this frees up a spot in center. I mean, it frees up a spot in center for them as well. But, yeah, I think we're okay. That Nova was only worth 2 power for them in total. Now, do we just Galactus? We can't, right? We can't just Galactus. Can we? Unless... No, let's Iron Lad. And it kind of doesn't matter what we hit. Really, a snap. So we have a prio. So like a cosmo, collector, armor, or devil would be the best. But let's see what we hit. Devil, which was the best hit. Okay. Fantastic. They didn't even do it in the right order. They should have Wolverine first and then Galactus. Very interesting. So we have a couple lines here. Shadowking on Stark Tower is usually pretty good. If we think they're trying to blow up the stones, which I think is a safe bet, then a preemptive armor might be pertinent. No, I think I have to, yeah, I think I have to go for the armor. All right, maybe they're not trying to blow them up. Huh. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. Do we have prio? We do. Let's just Cosmo. We want to redraw this devil. We can't Coulson because then we water down the cards in our deck with 2 random cards. Shadow King doesn't really do anything. We could Collector, potentially. But I think I just value getting more cards into Stark Tower. Okay, we got really lucky. We Moongirl now. Actually, I think we can snap. We Moongirl now. Oh, you know, there was another downside, which is that we put both armor and Cosmo into the same lane, which is a downside to protecting our dinos, which we'll now have 2 of. But ultimately, I think that's perfectly fine. All right. So they got 6 to work with. They got 6 energy to work with. Huh. Does that scare me? A little bit. But I think if I just do that dino there, we're fine. Because they're gonna, if they want to Professor X the left, he's gonna have 0 power himself. And I know they can deploy a 1 cost, but I don't know that they have any 1 costs that are like worth deploying. Ooh. That's a lot. Okay, but there was no Professor X anywhere. But we do also have priority. But I don't think they can't play both the remaining stones plus Thanos. This is 15. This is 12. So it gets hit by a Shang is the thing. That puts it down to 10. Which is still Shangable. They retreated. We're fine. We're fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much if you got to the end of this video. I appreciate you. You're the type of people who should probably be subscribed, but honestly, you're the type of people who probably already are subscribed, and that means a lot to me. A special thank you to my patrons and anyone else who just keeps this channel running through their creative endeavors. They are as follows. The Tiny Ruby, A Frog in a Tent, Clips, Crayon Eater, Cole D, Polyhaze, Sartorius, Demisi, KD, Diston Nelson, and Matt Backey. This channel would not be possible without all of you. I appreciate you so much. I hope that everyone has a great day, and I will see you all very soon.